Rents don't go down very often.
Right.
That's the one thing. They'll creep up. Maybe they'll stabilize and flatten out until they need to go up again, but rarely do they ever go down.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Rental rates in Las Vegas are rising faster than the national average, according to new data from Redfin, but local data has them holding steady. So locally, I'm saying they're steady. Redfin's saying they're going up. I'm saying I agree with the local data more than Redfin. But it says Sunbelt cities are seeing drops in rental rates year over year. Actually, most of the cities around us are actually rent rates drop. But Vegas appears to be an outlier as rents are up 2.4% since the end of April and 1.7% increase from this time last year. So wait a minute. So they're up 2.4% since the end of April and 1.7 from the previous year.
So there was a drop in there.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
Then it came back.
It went down and came back up.
Yeah.
The median asking now this is a stat I really like to see. The median asking rent in Las Vegas is $1,505 according to Redfin, and the average rent in the United States is $1,640. So we're $150 cheaper than the United States still.
The other thing too is go back to that 1.7% number. When you keep hearing the Fed talk about inflation, the number they use is 2%.
Right.
So if rents only went up by 1.7% over a year,
that's where we want to be.
That's where they want to be. Things are going to get expensive over time. It's just we don't want it to get expensive at a rapid pace like we've seen.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, everything goes up over time. I remember my parents bought their house for $13,000.
Right.
So, I mean, everything goes up over time.
They should have bought more.
I know. Well, if only. We could have bought that whole neighborhood now. I mean, yeah. But that's when I think back on that, that's what I think. So everything goes up all the time.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, that's where we are. But yeah, but I was encouraged by that number. 1,505 locally, 1,648 nationally. So we're $150 cheaper than the national average, which is great. And it's also, we're a big city.
And it's also drawing people here.
It is. I mean, people are coming here because
everything that's going on, people are coming here.
I was just go ahead.
The side note of that is there'll be more rental property than ownership.
Yeah, that's the thing. And we want people to buy.
Yeah.
We do. But I think, like when I first moved to Vegas, I rented for the first year.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be prudent. I wanted to make sure I was in the right spot.
Sure.
I didn't want to just buy. So I took a year. I rented for a year. We explored the valley. We found a place. We bought a house when we realized where we wanted to be. And then we made a good deal. And we were very happy to rent just that 1 year.
Right.
So I think for people coming to the valley, renting is not a bad idea short term.
Exactly.
For 1 year maybe or 6 months or whatever it is until you feel like you got the lay of the land and you know where you want to be. Certainly you want to be maybe a close proximity to work where you know you're going to be working, or you want to be close proximity to the schools you want your kids to go to, or whatever that is. But you also want to pick a neighborhood. You want to know that you're where you want to be. So take some time. That being said, I mean, this show is all about buying houses. I mean, we're all about people. Look, we're not trying to convince you. We're trying to educate you. We're trying to make sure you understand the value of home ownership. And so but having said that, it's important to understand and know that rents are an important part of the equation.
Right.
They are. And as an investor, too, you need to know that you're going to get your return. Rick was talking about that before. I mean, landlords got to get a decent return or they're not going to keep the house. They're going to sell it.
Right.
And they'll sell it. And you know who they want to sell it to? They want to sell it to an owner-occupier.
Right.
They want to sell to somebody who's going to live there and not rent it out because, generally speaking, and I'm being very general, they'll pay more for it. Mm-hmm. An investor's going to want to get it for less than a person who's going to live there. A person who's going to live there has time to make up whatever it is that they spent. An investor doesn't have as much time.
Right.
They got to get instant cash flow. They can't. Don't ever want to buy a property with negative cash flow. You want to start making money right from the get-go.
Right.
And that's why rents are where they are. And part of that is you're right. Part of it is because of the price of homes and the interest rates
yeah.
and the payments that have to be made. That's why rents have gone up so much. That's part of the equation, without a doubt. And so hopefully, but, in this article, Colliers is quoted as saying that they see rents as flat. And that's kind of what I've seen locally. I don't see our rents having gone up. I know as a property manager, we haven't raised rents.
Well, and I've noticed rental properties sitting longer on the market, just like single-family homes. So they're not just flying off the shelves.
Nope, that's exactly right. So that bodes well for people looking to buy and to rent. It bodes well for both, because if we start to see that trend continue, there'll be more opportunities for you. And believe me, when I say I know how hard it is for first-time home buyers, and it's only getting harder.